Last time I actually made those assets here. And now I'm realizing maybe they look a bit too sharp, so I'm actually going to go for one level of crease only. That's better. I'm actually wondering also if I should not get rid of like this crease. Yeah, also that's better. I'm not really a big fan of when the edges are like too sharp. Just find that it like you lose a bit of how can I say? You lose a bit of or else I'm gonna say it another way. The light that hits on the edge, if your edge is too sharp, you don't see it, and I find that like you lose readability on your mesh because of that. So something to think about. There we go. The rest was pretty clean. Ready to go on with another mesh. I remember I forgot to do this one last time, and also the top one right over here. So I'll just quickly repeat the same process as last time for this one. Let's just duplicate this element. Hey, Frog. Grab this piece. We're gonna bring it up just a little bit. Some polygons that I know are going to cause problems with Z remesh. Now it's clean enough. Let's delete this. Polish around the edges. And let's Z remesh this. Very low. About the same as the other one. Let's go a bit lower. And let's clean the mesh first. I am getting a feeling it's not really like seeing the flow of my volumes. You can also insist on having polygroups. By just masking this zone like this. Good morning, Marco. Hey, to you, Artoras. Okay. Let's also, since it's a small piece, let's also try to kind of like force it to have like this line flow or topology, let's say. So keep Z remesh. Okay, so it's almost perfect. There's just a little bullshit thing happening over here. Let's try it with the other Z remesh. by holding Alt on the button. So it's better for here, it's worse for here. Let's try a slight modification, see if it's just going to give us a better result. There we go. Okay. Let's clean that little mesh here. Make the angles somewhat clean, like there's like a constant flow, cleanness to it. We're gonna have to fix the edges as well. Let's inflate so we see what we're doing also. Have it another color. Mirko, sup, Cruisinyo, sup, to you too. Right, so this is starting to get closer to what I'm looking for. Maybe a bit too flat. Sometimes I like to round it up. I'll just use the standard brush and just that can give like a little bit of roundness back to the mesh. Okay. Should be good enough. It's still not exactly the correct shape all around. Let me just do another pass at that. Okay, let's fix the rest later. All right, panel loop this. Panel loop with ignore group, first of all. Okay. Just gonna clean up around here because it's like pretty obvious what the mesh should be, but the thing is not doing it correctly. Let's use smooth directional to make that line a bit cleaner. Like this. Mirror and mirror and weld because smooth directional doesn't work in symmetry correctly. As usual, which is fine. And then clean mesh. There we go. Right. It's still pinching. Weird. Okay, what's just that? Okay, okay. We're missing a bit of an edge over here. Not an edge, but a sharp corner. Let's just like insist on it. There we go. Now let's hide mesh under so we have a better visibility of what we're working with. There's a little edge here that I wanted to get back. There you go. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. Like that, it's not bad. So I'm gonna select the back face because I just want to move the just like the inside of that shape to really align it with like the other assets connecting with it. Because it's just a bit like skewed right now. And this we can also adapt it. There you go. That's why it feels like it's going. Perfect, now it's connecting. All right, so that piece is done. We're gonna clean it up a bit more once we commit, once we like, not Dynamesh, well, once we apply our Dynamesh, actually. Did I have a layer on this? Yeah, okay. Okay, and for the top part, we're going to use another technique to add the mesh over there. First of all, I'll just read the chat. FX Sculpteur, Terbaniaf. C'est du tabarnak, ça? Marco, you're doing this just for fun? Yes. This is, well, I'm doing it to make streams, basically. It's my subject that I'm working on while doing the streams. You make topology? No, I will be doing the same as my what I showed into my other streams. I'm going to decimate the mesh and render it in Keyshot, the same as like all other insectoids characters. You can watch, if you go at the bottom of the screen on the link, you can check YouTube, and there's a playlist called the Mantis playlist, and I'm going through a character similar to this. That's a word I invented. Perfect. Okay, so for the top here, since we're like, this is pretty much like a tube, sorry, like a cylinder that's going to have like maybe some like edges at some point. I think starting from like a primitive is really going to help. So let's duplicate this mesh again. And let's just clean the center part so that there's no like lines and stuff like that. Let's keep it like smooth. And I'm actually gonna start by simply placing a tube on top like this. I'll fix the scale and everything else after. We have this, we can hide it. There's possibly two right now because I was working in symmetry. There you go, delete one. Okay, so we're gonna subdivide that, delete, and we're gonna start by going and giving it like the proper shape. Add some bad news. All right. Post-nuclear 2. Hey, 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 hey. So you see, having that shape already there is pretty good, and there's a lot that we're going to be able to do with just the clip brushes and everything else, so we can already commit to that mesh. feel like this mesh should be darker. It's kind of like hard to tell, hard to differentiate. Actually, last time I didn't use like a super different material because I just wanted to keep the readability on it. But at this point, we're pretty much like done with the sculpting it, so we don't need like so much readability. Okay, that's a bit extreme though. Jeez. Bit extreme. Okay, I think that's gonna be okay. All right. So, we can at least like give it like some shape so we get closer to uh, like the amount of like detail we have on the other shapes. So let's just like keep this on the side like this as like a reminder of what it looks like. Something like that. I'm actually going to push that in. Hmm. Actually, I'm realizing that there is something, there's like an angle I wanna get that I'm not getting over here on the so I'm gonna go and kind of like so I'm kind of like resetting the curve by deleting loops and adding some. And once that we're good, I'm just gonna take like these and just smooth like a little bit, just because like I probably have lost too much of that curve. There we go. Okay, well the angle is not really there, so now I'm gonna go with like the move brush to try to get it like this instead. There we go. That should be fine. Okay. All right. So these I can just apply a clip curve. Get the indentation. There was like a bit of an edge all around. I'll just cut it with a clip curve like this. And on the front here, I'll just go with H polish. Or let's try a clip curve again. Misclick over here. Okay, so by having this edge, it actually it makes me realize that like I'm gonna need a bit of like more flatness. So I'm actually going to move this around so that this line and the line under are not so like desynchronized. They don't need to be perfect, but like I just want them to have like some feeling that they are like following each other. Sometimes it can be also the opposite. It can move the other mesh. This, there you go. Okay. All right. That should be good. I'm going to round it up a bit because I didn't mean for it to be such a hard edge. Let's go back to our blocking under, push it in. Okay, so we see there's a lot of plates that are already done on this character. There's actually like this one we're gonna do, because once we're done with like doing this plate over here, the rest of the inside of the mesh is all like the interconnection and stuff, and well, there's gonna be a bit of those mandibles as well. Yeah. And then what's gonna be left after is like detailing and those greebles and whatever, which is kind of like pretty fast. Like this, like constructing those like shapes is somewhat tedious. So yeah. Uh, 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 Save. Okay. Okay. So that we're going to divide in two for sure. This is another thing we're going to be able to do a lot with the clip curves without having too much to like I almost want to try to do it exclusively with the sculpting and the clip curve and whatnot. Let's try. Let's give it a shot. We'll duplicate this. We'll take this, delete the rest. We'll delete, we'll keep the thickness, but there's a bunch that we can actually just like remove. Let's close hold this. We're going to remove symmetry for the moment. I'm not going to be working with symmetry. It's not all object, and we have the luxury to treat like this because the object needs to be like of a specific shape for us to be able to do that. Also, let's remove these things for the moment. So I'm going to take the dam standard inverted to kind of like draw where I really want my edges to be. And this will also like help kind of like reorient the plane here. Like this like huge like flat plane that has a curve at the end. And then I'm going to trim like what I don't want. Oops. There we go. I'm feeling like I'm not really talking into the mic enough. I don't know if the sound is okay for you. So now I'm trying to have like those lines to follow the rest of the line flow of the Hi Marco, I don't watch your stream often, but I do watch your video on YouTube and just want to say that thank you for this. Your video helped me a lot and I appreciate it. Well, that is awesome. It's my pleasure. Hello, sounds perfect. Okay, cool. Awesome, that's reassuring. Okay. Okay, shape starting to be following the rest. Okay, I think I'm good with the general shape of this. So we're just gonna remesh this to have something a bit cleaner. Clone this here. Let's subdivide it. Let's give it a like a 1.5,000. Okay, that's somewhat acceptable. Let's keep this one. Let's do another one where I actually tell him um, to follow like the edges. So for this, we're going to take our mask, put some depth on the mask. Have it in dots. There we go. I'll try again, just with a smaller mask. Okay, and let's change the poly group of that. Let's hide this one. And let's do the same for here. Okay, that's good. So now we have the polygroups following the planes. Let's see if we can tell him to keep that. Oh, there's some red polygons over there. I don't want that. Part of this. Okay. Try again. Let remesh. Give me something clean. Yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool. So let's keep this. We are still going to make a reprojection of this. Or are we? With the smooth dark Chanel, can do a pretty good cleaning job at straightening the edges. Just have to be somewhat diligent. Look pretty clean like this, actually. I don't think I'm gonna reproject after all. So even cleaner mesh. Oh, there. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Let's go and get the original color for this. And then I'm just going to kind of like insist on, like, just like polish on top of that to have the extra cleanness that I'm looking for. Straightening things out. The bottom is not super clean, but not really going to be visible, so never mind that. Okay, cool. I guess we're done with that part. Okay. Of course, we're going to be adding the those like cylinder at some point, but like I'm thinking we're probably going to go and grab some cylinders that we're going to be reusing on this mesh. So like maybe I can kind of like pre-place the like the sockets for those. But I think that's going to go on a layer if I do so. Go and get the proper planes. Probably going to be something like that. Oh, damn, I forgot to duplicate it on the other side. Okay, we're going to have to do a little trick over here. I want to keep what I just did on a layer. We're going to create two meshes, one with, one without. I'm going to bake the layer on this one. All right. Mirror and weld. This one as well. Mirror and weld. And now reproject. There we go. Okay, all right. See, it's mesh done. Now this mandible here. Let's save. Hey Marco, have you been watching your streams? I've been watching your streams for a long time now for managing your company, family, and everything else. Curious to know what drives you to keep streaming every week. Well, people keep asking me like to show tips and that sort of stuff, and I've always loved to help people. Like that's what I've realized about myself. I'm somebody that asks like a lot of help from people. Like when I have a question, I really don't shy away from going to ask a question and stuff. Um, but I also love to give back in return, right? I, and I just also by default love the idea of sharing knowledge. So this what's motivates me. Plus something else that helps is that I'm keeping some projects that I only work during the stream. So I'm kind of like when it comes Tuesday, I'm like, oh well, that's cool. I get to work on this character again. Like him, well him would be more like a her, but like like this robot I'm working on is yeah, it's like it's a project I'm always happy to get back to. Let's say. Um, Damn, my hard surface doesn't look this clean. Mine's all wobbly. Yeah, well, I mean, you'll probably learn a few tricks over here. Hopefully. Hello, super awesome stream. Thanks you, Pizza Koi. Sahil, hello Marco. If you don't mind, can you show me your materials setting? Yes, it's pretty much basically the standard. There we go. Can take a screenshot of that. Boom. Okay. Where was that? Where was at? Yeah, there's some like I just took a second to watch this, and there's like some stuff I'm not super happy about in the placement of these meshes over here. There's like a cleanliness here. I'm like, not sure. Yeah, I don't know why that was so unclean in this section. Okay, where was that? Yeah, this mandible here. So this one I'm probably also going to go a bit by hand on this one. And this section here I'm probably going to just make it like a disconnected cylinder. So yeah. Um, okay. Mr. Land, hello everyone, hello. Ghost of Christmas Future. Hey, hey, hey. Like there's still going to be eventually like an edge of metal between those two things, but I'll start by placing all of the blocks in place before like doing any like because like any connection in between pieces, like I call it greebles, and that's pretty much yeah, something I do later. Let's also disconnect one part from it like this. Flatten it in this angle. Yeah, we're losing a bit of like thickness over here. So that's my trick to gain back some thickness. It's you get the move brush, you put it in back face, and then you can like move it apart like this. Kind of like chopped off something I should not have. There we go. More like it. now that I kind of like made the planes more obvious, I'll just get back some of the shape that I lost while trying to get those planes more readable. Actually, you know what? I'll keep this. How is your H polish giving desirable and even result? Mine feels like it has a mind of its own. Well, I mean, I've just really been using. I've been using the brush enough to understand its behavior in different situations, like near an edge, near another mesh. So I'm just really used to its behavior, let's say. All right, we're starting to get a pretty cool shape over here. I'm actually going to kind of like insist on that edge with damn standard and the Alt button. Right. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Okay. Let's add this like section here. This is we're gonna start from like a clean mesh for this. So oh wait, let's maybe dynamesh this. Are we dynameshing this now? Or are we waiting later? I think I'm gonna dynamesh like super high, higher than that. Let's go maximum. That's not maximum. There we go. Okay. Oh, there's a bit of a... Okay. Clean and cool. Although, I think we're gonna have to reorient. Reorient those things here. Let's merge them together first. Oh, crap, I merged something that I should not. Ah, I lost my subdivision level there. It's okay. Okay. Like that. Let's use a simple tube. Tubey-doop tube. Okay, should be good like that. Keep just a tube. Queer. This looks great. Will you retopo it later to get sharper edges? Do you mean like the red parts? Because the edges on the rest is sharp enough as it is. The what's red is going to be like cleaner for sure at some point. But everything else that's like gray and black right now, the edge are sharp enough, and they are rounded just at the level that I intend to. Have you made changes to the clip brush? Because when I use it, it usually crashes my ZBrush after a few clips. Are you talking about the knife brush or the clip brush? Because the clip brush is pretty stable. The knife brush is a bit crashy, let's say. So we're going to try to go and get the same angle that we have here for this like section tube thingy here. And there's a taper also, and we're going to try to get. Are we gonna try to get it? I think I'm gonna get keep the bump here. I'm gonna figure out something with it. Okay, that should be good. Now, we're going to subdivide this. We're going to make it part of this. Boom. So do I want this everywhere? Like having a little edge like this is pretty cool. If I give another clip here like that, actually I should give that clip. Okay. It's not exactly the same as what I did before, but I think it looks cool. That might be a bit too much. Come on. Well, now I'm getting caught into details and stuff, but kind of feels right to take a moment to play around with these. I'll figure out how everything connects together later, but for the moment, it feels all right. We're gonna need to Z remesh this at some point. It is all like detailing and stuff. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm having so much fun. Okay. All right, let's commit to this by doing a Z remesh. This one I'm not gonna put any like any poly group. I pretty much cleaned the mesh already anyway, so we're just gonna take what it gives me. Maybe at the lower poly count though. Some say that to get that hard surface feel, you got a poly model, but I always try to sculpt everything too. I do not agree with that comment. I think that to make something look hard surface, it's about visual language and not about using a tool. So if your edges gives the impression of like sharpness, of being somewhat like clean on the surface, and you got the right visual language that accompanies it, it's gonna look clean enough. It's gonna look like hard surface. So no, it's not about polymodeling or doing something else. I find that like this is a subjective, a subjective opinion. Just fine. It's fine as long as like the idea is that it's not that this is the only way of doing it. And I mean, I've been practicing this technique for like so long, and it's by far my favorite. So I don't like it would be inconceivable for me to consider it like wrong because it's proved itself for 12 years, 13 years now that I'm doing art surface. Alright, we got it. On to the next things. So those agreeables here, like those are like arguably could be done just by sculpting. Ah, yes, correct. In the end of the day, it's all about the final look and not how something's made. Exactly. Yeah, okay. So I think I'm gonna go and gonna try to sculpt them. I'm still gonna separate them, but I'll go more like sculptly. I'll put back my depth by mask. So for those, I'm actually going to do a little tiny little polish so that they are a little bit cleaner. I'm going to select the border. I'm going to actually push the border in like this and do a simple dynamesh of that. So it closes the hole in the back. Oh wait, I don't have the connector between them. Come on. There we go. Select border. Okay, and to get those edge clean, I'm actually going to temporarily delete that side. I'm going to recreate it after with mirror and weld, just so I can actually get some like really clean lines easily, like this. All right, let's mirror and weld this. Dynamesh again, it's reclosing the holes and everything. Let's get back symmetry. Continue to clean these edges. There's a bit of like funky stuff happening here because of the Dynamesh. We're just gonna get rid of it, just so that it doesn't like cause trouble to our, like, to create like corrupted mesh, because there's just too much like this was done because I was just like not super diligent about how to manipulate the mesh, but there's ways around it, as you see now. There we go. All right, so I'll Z-remesh that right now. I could almost like just leave it as a Dynamesh. It's just, it's a bit like, yeah, you know what? I'll leave it as a Dynamesh for the moment. Let's get rid of. Yeah, let's do the next mesh. We're gonna pretty much use the same technique. Clean up. Okay, scratch that. We're gonna start by give the proper plane. Okay, let's get the depth now. Dynamesh at its maximum. And once again, delete half. So the whole like deleting half is pretty much like something you can do when you have when you're doing Dynamesh, right? The moment you start putting some like subdivision levels to your thing, you have to know that you're going to work with some restriction. So like I figured with time that like pretty much everything is doable. It's just like sometimes if you get to like a further like a step later, like committing your Dynamesh into a Z remesh, for example, having like subdivisions and whatnot, like it makes it harder to go back on some stuff after, but it's actually doable. It's just yeah, you're gonna in quotes waste some time. Inside of that is going to be more like a greeble, but at least like we have this like mandible like effect now, so it's cool. And last little piece will be the bottom part here. Oh, that's a mask. This could have arguably just be like the chin part that I modeled. Since it's the head, like I said on the previous streams, sometimes I like to just like spend a little bit more time just making sure it's out of a mesh so it looks like extra clean. All right. All right, so we have all the plates. We're gonna have to make it look like our blocking. I'll just reopen the blocking mesh. So that's our blocking mesh. And this is what we have so far in the polishing. Everything that's red is everything that's not done. Actually, like the foundations are not done. But yeah, you can see like what we've did so far in the process. Like next stream, we're actually going to probably start the detailing, I guess. There's a few things to do in terms of detailing. Well, there's pretty much no detail except for like that region here. It has a little bit. But detailing will consist of like the like in between parts as well as the like adding surface detail on these meshes. And the goal will be to get like the same amount of detail as all the other insectoids characters, right? So this is where we're heading with that. Second here. All right, let's check the chat real quick. Yes, my ZBrush is upgraded. Yeah, the whole you know, about this whole discussion you guys are having on the chat, like about AI and stuff. Like, I have no idea, but like what Ghost of Christmas Future is saying, I think there's like a bit of like truth in that. The thing is, like, we really don't know, right? What's coming next? So I mean, we'll see. But yeah, there's a chance that things might be also just like a fad or not as much. At the end of the day, I mean, like, there will be changes for sure. They can be for the best also in some ways. It's easy to believe they could be for the worst. What sucks right now is that people are, like you say, they're going crazy and this is hurting some people, maybe like with like some loss of jobs or because like if you don't initiate a project, there's no reason to keep people. So there's some stuff happening which is not cool. But there's a chance that just get we'll just recover from this and get on to the next thing. We'll see. It's hard to say. Uh, does ZBrush really develop features for hard surface artists? You feel it's an afterthought, that's what you're saying. Um, at times it does, but it's still like focused on more of the artistry in general, not necessarily like for hard surface. Me, since I have a very organic approach to hard surface, I prefer ZBrush over anything else for hard surface. Do you think that the element is the most consuming part of the model? Yes, by far. I spend a lot of time on the element since like this is where people will be looking at the most, and so yeah, it is a conscious decision to put a little bit more like love there. Um, mm, 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 mm. All right. So, look, I think I'm gonna end it there. We're almost at the 2 hour mark. Um, oh yeah, by the way, my background is like just like boxes and like plastic and stuff. Uh, I'm soon done with the renovation. It feels like we're pretty much at the end, but we need to store more and more stuff in like weird places around the house. So yeah, that's what it is. So I've but also like there's like dust everywhere in the house. It is insane how much the my house is dirty. It's been dirty for like a good like well since we started the renovation, but especially the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks were just insane. But yeah, anyways, in case people were asking about the tarp at the back. Marco, do you see people have missing in their Marco, what do you see people have missing in their pieces usually in the aspects of character appeal? You know what? I'm about to say goodbye, so like I'll just like skip that question. Um, why don't you come next Tuesday and ask that question again? I can answer it to you at that time. Um, so yeah, let's do that. It's a date. All right. Anyways, everyone, thanks for watching. We're gonna raid someone here right after this discussion of AI. Let's go raid somebody that does traditional sculpting. There you go. Balance things out. So thanks everybody for joining in. That was really great. And look, I'm gonna be here next week. Next week I might actually be here during the afternoon because there's a bunch of meeting that I have to attend next week. So I'll do my best, but there's a chance, yeah, it'll be more like the afternoon. So yeah, I hope everybody's gonna take care of themselves this week, and we're gonna see you next week. Ciao.